There we go. Okay, now it's back. I got it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Hey, Brandy. Haven't seen you. They're back. It's all done. Jimmy doesn't believe, but we're back on again. Hi, Randy. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Scarlet Rain. Hi, CYNT. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get the chat, and then I tried to restart Streamlabs, and it... Hey, Sonia. Hi, Kai. Teresa, Evie. To Scooter, your best friend. Veronica, Chris, J Bells. Wow, J Bells, you're up early. Summer Angel, Judy, Isabel, Teacup, Jokana, Wildlife, Christo, Deb on the Move, Alice, Darce Cabins, Carol Boyce. So yeah, you saw the rip-roaring magnet fishing we had. I told Jimmy we have to do it down by the beach because that's where people were. That's used to be public for a lot of years. And that's where you'll find anything. And that's where naturally everything goes out because there's an outlet down there. And so it draws the water out of the lake. Yes, it's September 18th, I think High 69 said, right? Do I have a Venmo account? No, I don't. Where does the water go? Down a creek and down into a river and down somewhere to a bigger river. I mean, it just goes out. There's an outlet because it's spring fed, so there's constant water source into the lake. And if you just let it like it is, it would overflow. So it's spring fed, yeah. So there's an outlet, and depending on the water flow, you let it out, you know. Cold and hot. Yeah, there's warm spots too. It's nice. It's nice. Hey Mooka, who else came in here? Tamlin, hi. Hannah C, Carla. Carol, hi. I don't know who, Anne. Somebody came in. Janelle. Did I miss someone else? I feel like I missed someone. Sharon, hello. Trying to think of one thing. So yeah, maybe Jimmy said they could 3 nails. 3 nails, and I don't know, this V-shaped thing might be from a fishing lure. It might be from a fishing, you know, like a tweezer kind of thing. I don't know what it was. Spider bite advice? What spider bite advice? Oh, okay, I've got updates before I forget. These are very important. So hang on, I've got some important updates. All right, so the first one is from Manager of 3 Monsters, right? You know that? Hi, Carolyn. I don't know if you want to read this to the Ramblers or just tell them quickly when you're live. I'll read it. Whatever you prefer, I really need the prayers for my nephew. I truly can't tell you how much I appreciate you sharing your story with everyone for me. Remember, he was going in for surgery, and I asked for prayers for him, Avery, right? The more prayers, the better. Hi guys, I just want to say I miss you all so much. I can't wait to be back. My kidney stones are still stuck. Rick has lost his job and had to take a new one out of town, so we have to wait for new insurance to kick in before we can schedule surgery. Way more importantly, I recently commented that my nephew was having a serious surgery. He had he had what they thought was a small dermoid cyst on the side of his nose, but it was very aggressive, reaching around his optic nerve, pituitary gland, and the brain. They had 2 surgeons working, one through the outside of his nose and one inside his face, forehead, through the head. He had the surgery done August 14th, and it was successful, and he seems to be recovering really well. The doctor called my sister today and told her that although it presented itself exactly as a dermoid cyst, after the biopsy came back it was actually a tumor and that he has cancer. We are shocked and devastated. They are doing a bunch of scans tomorrow to determine where it all is, as well as implanting a port and making a treatment plan for chemo and radiation in the next couple of days. It is aggressive, so they want to start this all pretty quickly. His name is Avery and he's 10 months old. I'm attaching a few photos for you guys. They are in order from just a few weeks ago to today. I'm asking anyone who doesn't mind to please put him on your prayer list. Send good vibes, cyber hugs, well wishes, love and prayers up to him. He's just the sweetest little guy, and we can't even imagine life without him. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I will pop in soon with updates. Carolyn, you have been heavy on my heart and mind. I think of you so often and hope you're doing well. I consider you a dear friend, and I'm always an email or text away. Okay, so let me show the pictures. Cute little guy. Poor guy. Okay, so definitely we're praying for Avery, Deanna, and hope that he has a great prognosis and is completely healed. And then I have, let me see. Just let the dog in here. Okay, so now we have one from Kathy. Let's see here. I haven't even checked my mail in a long time. Wow. Oh, wait a second. I have another. Is this? No, that's the one I just read, right? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, Kathy from Texas, is this the latest one? What's today? Okay, yeah, I think this is that. Okay, so she says, Dear Carolyn, this is a letter from a special woman who came and prayed with Jim shortly before we all began to see a change in Jim's status. It was unbelievable as the changes keep coming and coming and coming. Charlene belongs to a group that is championing a case for Elisa Piccarreta, who died in Italy in 1947, a case being made for her benediction. Excuse me. Is that sanctification? What is that? Where's my glasses? Where did my glasses go? Glasses. They're dirty. Dirty glasses. I threw out my stuff. Okay. Okay, beautification. I am learning about her now and will share her information with you if you are interested. I can't access a community page of yours for some reason, but just for a few moments, I was on chat this week. I became aware of your health issues and some personal problems. I'm going to be praying for you tonight. Thanks, Kathy. Okay, so this now is the letter. So it said from this Charlene, right? Dear Kathy, our God is so great, and Louisa, our intercessor, is up for beautification. Perhaps your son is the miracle she needs to move her cause forward in this process so that so many have been healed by her help. I want to share a few thoughts, meditations, and inspirations by the many in our Divine Will prayer group who are praying for your family and Jim. My friend Elizabeth shared, last night as I was sending you the prayer, I noticed that the hour was 3 o'clock, the mercy hour. I then noticed that when I sent the email, it was 20 minutes later. I had submerged myself into deep prayer, envisioning St. Joseph covering Jim with his brown cloak and kissing his forehead. I then kneeled at the foot of Mother Mary and gave Jim to her. As I placed Jim in her lap, I humbly asked her to bless Jim and to ask our merciful Father in heaven to heal him. I told Mother Mary that Jim has many here on earth that love him and to please heal him. Mother Mary blessed Jim, and I was at peace. Jim will make a full recovery. God is so good, Charlene. Thank you, sweet Saint Joseph and Mother Mary. I give you my heart in exchange for your heart. I love you, Father, and I give myself to you. May the divine dwelling dwell within. Okay, and this was her prayer. She said, in the holy, holy name of Jesus, I pray that Jim be completely healed. Sweet Saint Joseph, cover Jim with your brown cloak of protection. Sweet Mother Mary, I place Jim in your lap. Give him the blessing and ask God to heal him. May God's holy will be done. Fiat, Elizabeth. Also, my one friend asked that your son be spared and that Jesus make him a priest. Another shared her concern for you especially. Her son had sepsis 2 times in 1 year. He was in the hospital for at least 5 days each time. It was a tremendous agony for her. He is fine at this time. The heartache and sorrow that she bore was tremendous. She prays for strength and perseverance for you as a mother of a suffering son. I feel you tap into the agony of the Blessed Mother as she watched her son suffer. What a beautiful offering to offer God at this time. I have a Mass in several hours and then off to a Divine Will retreat to England to learn more about how Louisa prayed and the blessing she is to mankind. Not recognized yet, but the Vatican has put out a book about her even before she was a saint. I don't think that this has ever happened in the history of the Church, and I did not want to bother you, so I texted Julianne today for an update. I will return after the 28th, and our prayer group would love to have updates once in a while, no pressure. Take care, blessings. Fiat, Charlene. That will be done in earth as it is in heaven. May it known, loved, and possessed by all. Holy Supreme Will, invest all souls. Fiat. This will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay. And then there's something from Charlene. So then there was an update on Saturday night, 8:17, from Kathy. Jim's improvement has continued today on a most rapid pace. Tomorrow morning he was scheduled to have the breathing tube removed and the feeding tube. The doctors and nurses have all told me this is totally unexpected and cannot remember seeing someone enter ICU and be able to have these life-saving devices removed within 3 days. They seem perplexed, but I always stand and speak of the healing powers of Jesus. I won't ever stop speaking of this miracle to others. And then she said he was walking. I have another where he's walking the halls. So hold on. Oh, let me see here. Yes, this is from today. Well, yes, about 24 hours ago. Dear Carolyn and wonderful ramblers, thank each and every person in this wonderful group of kind-hearted people. I'm convinced that Jim is being blessed each time one of you thinks of him. Jim walked on the floor today with a nurse, as my husband watched from the door of the room. I was glad they had that moment together. They've been the closest of all my sons from day one. I have been asked this weekend why my son was able to receive a healing and another son was not. I don't have that answer, but I want that person to know that this family has seen some very sad times in the past, times when our prayers were answered and then the answer was no. I can't explain it. I can only be grateful and do everything I can to live my life in such a way that it honors this blessing. We're moving forward slowly but surely. Okay, so that's great news, and we're praying for his continued recovery there, Kathy. And let's see, what else do I have here? I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. Okay, so I think that's everything I had to update with, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let me come back. Okay, I'm just checking your chat. Oh, hi, Kathy from Texas. You don't know if Jim is up for being a priest. Hi, Brenda. Who else snuck in here? Hi, Wildlife. Danielle. Keep It Kind. Muka. Did I get you? I think I got you before. Sassy Darcy. Matthew. Hello. Carol. Ninja. Mystery Truth Seeker, Sunflower, Laura, Time for a Change, Caroline, Sonia, Linda B, Sakura Girl, Tamlin, who else did I miss? See me. Yes, we need to pray now for Tiny Avery. You want a moment of silence, and then you want CYNT is saying to do a moment of silence and then say a prayer for Avery. So, or if you, or good thoughts or whatever it is that you do. So, hey, Cowgirl Up. All right, so let's just do, don't chat, and we'll just do a moment of silence and then a prayer for Avery. Uh-oh, what happened? Okay, so is everybody good now? All right. Yeah, we're praying for Avery, Deanna. Keep us posted. It's a manager of 3 Monsters nephew. All right. So if you missed it, go back to the beginning. Hi, Sarah. Yeah, I know, Sassy Darcy. We never know what, right? Prayed for Avery and Jim. Okay, so now, oh really? How? What kind of channel did she have? How did she pass away? It's a shame. Suddenly, you say? Oh my gosh. That's cancer? Prayers for her and her family. Crazy. Oh boy. Hi, Janelle. Hi, Barbara. You just woke up off to bed? Okay. God bless. Night. Hey, Debbie. You're welcome. Hi, Mary. Hi, Laughing Lori. Okay, so you guys know each other too, Scooter? That's so weird. Did you grow up in there? Did you go to school together, you two? And you met here in the chat room? One big prayer for everyone, yeah. Hi, Ariel Mama. Hi, Sabrami. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Alicia. And whoever I missed, I see you too. It's just... Hey, Peggy Sue. All right. So there's tonight, I'm going to bring you a case. Oh, where's my notebook with all my notes? So I have to see if we can get this a little more together. Okay. So this is really a family affair. And Ocean County, New Jersey. In the city of West Long Branch, right there on the ocean, middle-class town, blue collar, not wealthy or affluent, but, you know, a nice town just, well, a nice town just the same. And there was a family there called the Dorsetts, and they were very, very close with their daughter, Kathleen. And they had a daughter and a son. They don't mention what happens to the son, but the parents and the daughter are very, very close, and they happen to own a house across the street from them. Anyway, the mother was a school teacher. Her name was Leslie. The father had a refrigeration business. You know this family, Mommy for the Wind? Okay. The father had a refrigeration business, and, you know, he was not, like I said, they weren't affluent, but he did well. It's Monmouth County. I'm sorry, Monmouth County. But it's also close, why do I have Ocean Township? That's what I meant. I didn't mean Ocean Township is what they said here. Sorry, not county. Okay, now where was I? At 4:15 a.m. on, oh no, let me, how should I take you through this? That's Monmouth County. Okay. So Ocean Township, I'm sorry that I missed that. Hold on. So they live in the one house. Now, the mother, Leslie, is a teacher, a retired teacher, and at this time she was a school board member, a board of education, right, retired teacher, you know, lovely woman in the community. Thomas had a modestly successful refrigeration business, and their daughter, Kathleen, went to college, and she followed in her mother's footsteps and became a third grade teacher, okay, she was in the Neptune school district, okay? All right, so she's a third grade teacher. She had whatever, you know, pretty much everything except the guy and the family, right? So what happens is she meets this guy, Stephen Moore, and he's 6 years older than her, okay? She was 36, no, she was not. She was 32 at the time, I think, and whatever. He's 6 years older than her. They meet, but she finds out he's from California, okay? He's from around Huntington Beach, okay? 6 years older than her, and where she has her life pretty scheduled and, you know, working every day, he's more laid back. He has a very laid back look on life, and you wouldn't know it from looking at him. Let me see, I should be putting up the pictures. Hang on, I'm just going to get my pictures up here. So while I'm waiting for this to load up, you wouldn't know it from looking at him, but he had a passion for inline skating. Okay? Now remember, this is back in the early 2000s. But he had a passion for inline skating. He actually won a bronze medal in, what was it? The Inline Skating National Championships, which I didn't even know existed. But he had this passion for inline skating. But work, he would work odd jobs. He'd work construction 1 minute, and then, you know, he'd go back and do something in a sound studio. Very laid back outlook. maybe those were some red flags that, I don't know, wasn't the mate for her or something, but I'm just trying to get the pictures. She went ahead and they were getting married. Now, it was weird because his friends thought he wasn't going to get married. They didn't think he was that type, but when he called his one friend to say he was engaged, his friend was happy for him. This is going to give me the same. Hang on, I'm not even going to bother with that because I just want to get my pictures. Oh my gosh, this Google Chrome, I'm going to scream. I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and it still gives me problems. Come on. I have to have pictures to go with the story. Come on. Okay. I just want to get their wedding picture. Okay, here it is. Hang on. Now, to me, he just didn't look like an inline skater. I don't know. Just didn't. I wouldn't expect that. If somebody said, like, if that was a multiple choice question, and I would say no, that was not happening. You can tell me what you think. It just doesn't strike me as an inline skater. Okay, I know it's kind of grainy because I had to enlarge it. Anyway, so they got married, right? They settled very close to her parents because they actually moved into that house right across the street. Now, two newlyweds living across the street from the parents, and the parents were popping over anytime they wanted. Okay, they didn't, especially because they're newlyweds, give them a little space. They came over anytime they wanted, which was causing some issues, and Stephen wanted some privacy, but they were very affectionate. And by the spring of 2008, Kathleen was pregnant. Okay? And, well, maybe those in-laws across the street were going to come in handy, right? So December of 2008, they have a baby girl. Now, the baby caused a major shift in the relationship. Not only was there no intimacy, Kathleen started acting a little strange. I mean, she was so overprotective of the baby, she would not let her husband hold the baby for 6 months. Okay? Yes. She wouldn't want him alone with the baby. She worried about anything that he was with the baby. And it was really, really causing an issue, okay? So now, by the fall of 2009, now the baby is not even a year old, okay? Stephen had enough. He could not take it any longer, okay? So he filed for divorce. And at this point, this is a nightmare because now he's going to be able to get the daughter alone on his own, and he was just going to be granted these 3-day visitations. Kathleen was becoming a real issue during the custody stuff. Like whenever he had her, she was constantly calling, is she eating this? Did you feed her that? Did you do this? Did you do that? I mean, very, very, very intrusive. And Stephen moved in with his mother, who lived not too far away, okay? But the 2-year marriage was over. They went through the divorce. He wanted to be a part of the child's life. And now Kathleen's parents made him a very generous offer. You see, they were selling those houses in Ocean Township. And they were building a house in Florida where they were going to live with Kathleen and the baby. So during this this divorce, they said, hey, Steve, you know what? We want you to be part of the baby's life. We're willing to help you find a place to come down to Florida with us. We'll pay for things if you need us to pay for things at first. We'll get you a place close by. And just, everything seemed like pretty nice, right? That they were going to do this. On August 16th, 2010, Stephen worked at a Honda dealership, and his co-workers noticed that he was not there, which was very unusual. Now, they looked up the emergency numbers that were there, and he hadn't changed them. So they got Kathleen's number. So the co-worker calls, Kathleen answers, they tell her, we're concerned about Stephen, and she says, I just saw him this morning around 7. We did an exchange of our daughter. And that is true. Stephen was at Kathleen's house in that morning. He was driving his mother's car, okay? And they had an exchange of their daughter. But that wasn't the only thing, okay? Kathleen told Stephen that she needed him to get some tools that he'd left in the basement of the house. To get towards the basement of the house, he had to go into the backyard. Now, her father, Thomas, was waiting in the backyard, and she knew this, to kill Stephen. So she lured him back there by telling him to get some tools. And when he went back, her father had something large to hit him with, and then he strangled him. Okay? And while he was doing this, there were screams being heard that Kathleen heard, so she quickly changed her daughter and kind of got out and put her daughter in a place. So I don't know, she put her playpen, she secured her somewhere in the house, and went outside. At this time, her ex-husband was on the part of the driveway, and she stood to shield him from a neighbor who had her window open and was screaming out, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Well, she told her to mind her own business and close her window. Everything is fine. Then her and her father loaded Stephen's body up into the trunk of his mother's car. Okay? At which time her father drove off with the vehicle. Now, after this, they met at a restaurant where it looked like perhaps they were by some dumpsters in the back. Maybe somebody was going to dump something, but maybe they had a change of plans because it was too busy, whatever. They didn't do it. However, the father went back there with his work van later on and did dump things in those dumpsters. That was all caught on surveillance video. Now, at this restaurant, okay, the father knew the guy that owned this restaurant. And he had asked the man, "Look, I made a mistake. I illegally dumped some things from my refrigeration business in your dumpsters. Is there any way I could have those surveillance cameras, and I want to have them destroyed, and then I'll buy you new equipment?" But the restaurant owner said no. Okay, so police were able to get those films, or whatever, those CCTV videos, and they saw all this happen. They saw that Kathleen followed her father, okay? Remember, her father was driving in the father-in-law's, her ex-mother-in-law's car with the son-in-law, the ex-son-in-law in the trunk. He then paid someone $3,000 to burn the car, and he returned home with his daughter Kathleen. And I'm sure they had the baby in the back seat there. Okay. And let me get to my next thing here. There was a missing persons report, right, on Stephen. Police said the last outgoing call was at 6:42 to Kathleen, so that matched up to her story, right? They had the details of the divorce, and then when they started questioning the family and friends of Stephen, police and investigators started to get a different story, that the marriage started fine. Once the baby was born, the little girl was the love of Kathleen's life. She wanted nothing to do with her husband, but she took it to an extreme. It wasn't just a new mother thing. Like I said, he couldn't hold her for 6 months. She did not trust him alone. Stephen filed for a divorce, wanted to be with his daughter. Kathleen had to would not allow him to be alone with him. She constantly called him, like I said. But around 2010, they saw something shift. She seemed to soften, and the parents made him that generous offer about that Florida house. Florida, to take him down, move him down to Florida, pay for that, so he could be with his daughter. On, the early morning hours on August 18th, someone at 4:15 a.m. reported a car burning 4 blocks off the beach. Well, the police arrived on the scene with the fire department. They found a body in the trunk, but the body was badly burned. They were going to need DNA or dental records, to identify who this was. So, being that the car wasn't badly burned, okay, they had a pretty good idea it was probably their missing person, because this was his mother's car. So they asked Kathleen for I'm just putting up another picture, for the dentist that he used. And she did cooperate and give it to the investigators, so they were able to make a positive ID. But when they called her, when they said the car was identifiable, must belong to the missing persons, when they called Kathleen about this, they thought her reaction was really off. Even though he was her ex-husband, she was just very nonchalant, wasn't shocked at all. This is the only thing. These kind of people, these narcissists, they don't know how to act. They don't know how they're supposed to even act in something like this, okay? So she just kept saying, no, I saw him drop her off, and I saw, him drive away. But she did give them the dentist's name. And on August 19th, they got a confirmation that it was Stephen Moore, and that he had trauma of the head and the throat. Okay, that was from the hitting over the head and then the strangulation. And then he was killed prior to the fire. On August 20th, they called Kathleen again to tell her it was a positive ID was made. Again, she was not fazed at all. Nothing. No reaction. But she was willing to cooperate. She even allowed a house search, and she was a very accommodating hostess to the investigators during the search. Okay, let me see. 1 second. I just want to see if I have another. I want to get a picture of Kathleen and her dad. Okay, hang on. Okay. Now, while they're doing this home search, there was something that the investigators found really kind of weird. Okay, they saw a flower bed that was not weeded, but had freshly thrown mulch in there. Now, normally when you use mulch, you're going to weed the flower bed, then put the mulch down. This mulch was haphazardly thrown in there with weeds. You know, it was clear that something was strange. So one of the investigators put on a glove and he started to move around the mulch, and he noticed that his glove was red and it looked like blood. So they brought in a cadaver dog and they brought in luminol, and yes, it tested positive for human blood. Now, at this time, they brought Kathleen in for formal questioning, but she wasn't cooperating now, okay? Now she wanted an attorney. Okay, so they sent her home, but on August 23rd, they came there with an arrest warrant. And as they were handcuffing his daughter, Thomas takes his wallet out of his back pocket, hands it to his wife, takes his cell phone out of his pocket. Now, investigators are looking at this. This is the kind of action that someone does when they're going to be arrested. Why would Thomas be doing this? Now, no one suspected Thomas at this point, not at all. So what was going on, right? Why was he doing this? They found it really suspicious. So they questioned a neighbor, and she said, I just got up that morning. I heard a strange noise. It sounded like an animal screaming. So she looked out the window and she saw Kathleen, who was standing in the driveway. Remember, Kathleen is shielding the body, right, when she's standing in the driveway. And Kathleen, she asked her, are you okay? And Kathleen got very upset, told her to shut the windows and mind your own business. The authorities, noticing the father's reaction when handing all that stuff over, they took note of that. He was 64 years old. So Thomas contacted an attorney that was a family attorney and agreed to meet the next morning at the attorney's office. Now, when the attorney got to the office, and it was a very early morning meeting, he saw a truck, which he believed to be Kathleen's father, Thomas, in the parking lot. And he thought, okay, well, he got here early. And I guess when he wasn't inside, he went and didn't come inside. He went to the van and he knocked on the window because it appeared that Thomas was sleeping. But he wasn't asleep. It was actually a suicide attempt, and he had a white tube from a refrigerant gas hanging out of his mouth. So this attorney's knocking on the window. He can't get him. He calls 911. They get him to the ER. He's in serious condition. He's unconscious. But now the investigators are saying why. So it's very clear now for investigators he had something to do with this, and maybe he was trying to take the blame and exonerate his family. So at this point, that restaurant owner, in Long Branch, calls the police. He calls the police because he saw that Kathleen was arrested, and he was concerned because of what Kathleen's father had told him about the surveillance camera. So he tells them all of this. They look at the films. They find what I told you, where they saw the father dumping what seemed to be stuff from his refrigeration business, but it wasn't. It was bleach. It was buckets. It looked like, it's raining. Stuff to clean up a crime scene. And it was just, too evident that he had something to do with it. So they actually arrested him. He started to improve, and they arrested him in the hospital. Okay, let's see here. As an accomplice, okay? Now, December of 2010, okay, so the daughter's 2 years old now, in the Monmouth County Jail, that's where Kathleen is, she befriends an inmate in there, and she starts telling this inmate all kinds of things. Now this inmate gets out, and on 12/20, right before Christmas 2010, the township is shocked again because this phone call from this inmate who knew Kathleen said that Kathleen confessed to her all kinds of things. And she told her that all the things she did wrong, okay? What she should have done so she wasn't caught, okay? And she also told her that Kathleen was planning to kill her mother-in-law. Why was she planning to kill her mother-in-law? Because her mother-in-law got custody of her daughter. So who's she conspiring with? Who's she talking to and writing letters to? Why? It's her mother, Leslie, the retired teacher and the former school board member. So she's talking to her mother, and now investigators go get all of that. And in those explosive letters and phone calls from jail, Kathleen is telling her mother to make sure she makes it look like a natural death, that her mother-in-law has health issues, okay? Gives her she knew the address of a safe house that this investigators found crazy, that the investigators had put the ex-mother-in-law in with the daughter. And Kathleen knew that. Now, luckily, authorities were tipped off by this, right? So they got an undercover officer to act as a hitman. And they wanted to have Leslie, meet with this man. So Leslie met with him and paid on January 10th, 2011. She met with him in a food court, okay, of a mall. And she gave a down payment of $1,000. And she gave the daughter's instructions to him, but she forgot the photo of the woman. So she had to go back and get the photo of the woman. So they did not arrest her then. They continued to keep surveillance on her. She actually went back home, got the picture of Evelyn Moore, that's Stephen Moore's mother, and gave it back to this undercover police officer. At that time, they arrested Leslie for attempted murder. So now you have three family members, all arrested, okay? And remember that this started, okay, because she didn't want anybody to have custody of her daughter. Well, this is working out very well for her, right? Now her mother-in-law, the person she didn't want to have custody, has custody, and they're all in custody. Okay, so it's crazy. Okay. So now the attorneys tell Kathleen and they tell the Father Thomas that, listen, you guys are in a lot of trouble, but, your wife, we could get her a lighter sentence for Leslie, which I don't even know why Kathleen, being such a narcissist, she appealed this later, would have went along with this, but she did. If they both took a plea and admitted their guilt, right? So they do this in order to get Mom Leslie a lighter sentence here, okay? And what happens is that, hang on one second, get another picture up here. Kathleen gets 58 years. And she'll be something like 83 when she has any chance of parole. And her father, Thomas got 45 years. Okay. And the mother got 7 years. Now the mother's out now, okay? She's been released. Thomas and Kathleen are behind bars. Now Kathleen appealed the guilty plea because she said that she did not know that her father was going to kill Stephen when she lured him to the backyard to get the tools, even though in her plea deal she claims that she knew exactly that. She says that she was pressured by the attorney to plead guilty to spare her ailing mother. Okay, the judge rejected these arguments. This was July 19th, 2016. Okay, and so she was denied that appeal, and that is the case here of these family members. So here's another case where you've got 3 members of one family trying to think that this would possibly be the best solution for, not having her daughter have to be outside of her care. Maybe working on her marriage might have been one other type of solution she could have done. I don't know, just saying. But no, they came up with this, 3 people, and thought it was okay. Thought it was a good deal, and it didn't work out well, surprisingly. I don't understand, but it just didn't. So that's what we got there, guys. And I'm going to go back to the chat. So what do you think? Are you guys surprised that their plan didn't work out here? Third grade teacher in the Neptune School District. 3rd grade teacher. Can you imagine if that was your son or your daughter's 3rd grade teacher? Okay, this former teacher as well, school board member. All that for nothing, right? Craziness. Daughter grows up without both parents now. That was a good solution. That was a good chance to take, right? That was great. That worked out well. Worked out well. I must have freaked the parents. No, I don't know them. Somebody said, mom for the win said she knows them, knows the family. And that's a little story about not doing that if you're worried about custody battles. Maybe invest a little time trying to go to counseling, maybe? I don't know. Hi, Diana. I don't know. Couple of other things before that? I don't know. Hi, Pet Nanny Nancy. So yeah, that's the case tonight, Pet Nanny Nancy. They're not too bright. But it always amazes me when it's like Frazee, right? You have all those people involved and nobody thought, I don't think this is a good idea. Here you've got 3 people. And no one's saying, yeah, that's silly. I can see even you bartended for years at a local restaurant. They were regular patrons. Do you want to call in and talk about them? You want to talk about... You can call in and talk about them. But you've got 3 people here that, okay, sure, some people might say, especially going through a divorce, I've heard people say, things in jest about knocking off their ex-wife or their ex-husband, right? But again, it's in jest. they don't really mean it, okay? But you have 3 people here that are seriously, sitting around the kitchen table after she puts the baby to bed, and okay, you lure him out. What are you you're gonna lure him for the tools. I'm gonna be in the backyard with that heavy thing. I'm gonna hit him, strangle him, and then when you hear the screaming, you come on out, put the baby in something, secure the baby, put her in the high chair, give her some, I don't know, some puffs or something, and then, well, they didn't have puffs back then, give her a bite or biscuit, and you come out, and then if that nosy neighbor that's screaming out the window, you stand over the body, okay? And then I'll pull the car, back it in, and you scream at that neighbor like a lunatic, scare her away. And we'll put her in the, we'll put him in the back of the trunk. I'll drive that. You get the baby and follow me to that restaurant, okay? And then we'll dump stuff in there. And then they actually went back home to their homes. They cleaned up, okay? They went and cleaned up. And then the father went back and disposed of the stuff, right? And that was like all good. And then they were like, did you make those? I'll have it. Let me have another piece of pound cake. All right. It's crazy. Well, it's crazy, Tico, that they're sitting there discussing this. They had to be, okay? And then that wasn't bad enough. This woman's in jail, and she's telling this other inmate what she's going to do. She doesn't know that the letters she's sending her mother and the phone calls where she's telling her now to get a hit on her mother-in-law because she doesn't want her mother-in-law to have the baby. So I guess then she thinks that she doesn't think ahead that what if her mother gets caught, right? And Evelyn, let's say they're successful at killing Evelyn. Who would the baby go to? Maybe this brother that they don't mention? I don't know. But maybe foster care. Is that better than her mother-in-law? This whole thing is so crazy. It's too hard to get away with murder. Well, this was back in 2010. It was a little easier, but still. I can't imagine that. Like, you know, I think that, like I said, I could see some dark humor when someone's going through a divorce, maybe, but you know it's dark humor. I just don't understand how, you know, I don't know. It's crazy. And you think like they're elementary school too. Well, at least the daughter was. I bet you her mother was elementary as well. So they're in there, you know, teaching little kids, and then this is the kind of conversation they're having. It actually was on the summer break. So I guess she figured, Dad, we better get this done before I have to go back to school. I want to get this finished. Well, she might not even have been going because they were ready to move down to Florida. I don't know what happened with that house they were building. And you thought your family was Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs? Not this crazy, right? Hey, Casbat. So did Mom for the Win, did you want to call in? See, somebody said there was a brother. I knew there couldn't be a brother because they didn't mention him. She's an only child, right? That fits it perfectly. Then where was the child going to go? She didn't even think about it. Think about where the child was going to go if the mother got caught and was successful with killing the mother-in-law. The child would go to foster care. Is that what she thought? She wanted to take that chance? Do you know if the mother taught elementary school as well? Do you want to call in, Mom for the Win? Hey, April F., how are you? Hey, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. Hi, Lisa H. Hey, Paula. Narcissism, yeah. The judge actually called her a narcissist. I don't know if Mommy for the Win is... I'm trying to go back to see if she wants to call or not. Came right down to your face? Oh, wow, Lisa. She's with the ex-mother-in-law. But, you know, she's an elderly woman. I mean, her mother's not going to get out until she's 80, 83, if she's lucky. And I don't think they're going to be bringing her for visits to foster any type of relationship. It was insane, pure evil. She only married him to have a child. Yeah, because he didn't seem like her type at all, right? Kelly Finelli is a teacher in Neptune School District in New Jersey, in Ocean Township. It's also crazy to keep a godfather away from his child, yes. I can't see if Mom for the Win said she... Hey, Team Phoenix, I can't see if... Hey, Shari. No, Shari, those aren't super chats. I don't know what those are, why they're there. Those are like older super chats. I don't know why they're going across there. I don't know what's up with my Streamlabs. Casbat, I have to say, I don't know how you get those masks to work. I see where they are, but they don't come down when I'm doing that. You live in Ocean Township. Unfortunately, we have a lot of these crazy types of... A lot, like the whole family. I will call in one day to talk about one of them. Not much... Okay, all right. I'll put you down for that. You have a lot of these crazy crimes and you still live there? That would scare me a little bit, but... Oh, and then there's something else. What did I have to say? Hey, Sybil. Hey, you go, girl. You did reply numerous times. Not much to say. Oh, okay. There's lots of chatter. Hey, Lorianne. There was some other big news today, okay? Online threats. So, did you hear this one? A 15-year-old was arrested, I believe it was in Florida, after he made a threat in an online chat room. I'm not sure if it was Twitch or where he did it. It was gaming. Police came to the house. It's a felony. They said more and more people are reporting them to the FBI, the death threats. They are felonies. Arrested. Wish all people that. But there is time, like I said, the guy in Ohio that made threats, cyberbullying or whatever, that was reported back in January, and he was just arrested like 2 weeks ago. That's how long the FBI takes to get on this stuff. There was a plastic surgeon that was arrested with like this tremendous arsenal in his car. He was going through a divorce. He had said things about killing his soon-to-be or ex-wife. And so they found him with all of these weapons and everything. And then they found another man that made an online threat. I believe it was down south. It was Kentucky, Virginia, somewhere. It's too long. You're right. He had threatened to a church. They got him. It is bad for the victims, but yeah, people don't understand. When you put the report into the FBI, it's not that the FBI isn't looking into it. They are looking into it. They should hire more people. I think they're seeing that now, because tonight they had a bunch of, lawmakers and not for the different saying you have to report these things, and they are taking it seriously, because the mother was saying it was just an online chat room. It's a video game thing, it's nothing. And they have to come out and really make kids aware that no, it is something, and people aware that it is something. They really do. 30 years ago, they would have told you to get a restraining order and move. Uh-oh. Hold on a minute, my thing. Sorry about that. Whoops. I don't know why that happened. Well, you can't get a restraining order. Every state is different. You understand that, right? You have states like many states that don't allow you to get the restraining order until criminal charges are there, right? Unless it's a family member and you can go to the family court. Without those things, you cannot get a restraining order. So you can be a victim, you can file your police reports, you can file with the FBI, you can file all that stuff. But if the person is out of state, you have to go through the FBI. Now, the state police will tell you if that person comes into your state and you see that person, you call us, we'll arrest that person. But until they come into your state, the state police cannot arrest them. Okay? The FBI will take the case, but they do an investigation, and it takes time. Now, someone in a state, let's say like Massachusetts, okay? You can read about the corruption in Massachusetts. It's very well known that they give out restraining orders, anti-harassment orders. They don't require proof. They require someone to come in and write on an affidavit whatever they think are these acts, okay? So like a criminal, somebody with a criminal past is going to feel, let me see, should I sign my name to this? I don't want to lie. Yeah, right. So they sign their name to a bunch of lies, and they get an emergency anti-harassment or protection order, and that's the way Massachusetts does it. That's why David Letterman, okay, do you know the case about David Letterman? David Letterman was doing a show as planned. Some woman in New Mexico thought that that every joke was meant for her. All his stuff was code language. He wanted to marry her when he said this thing in his monologue that said, "Hey, Oprah, marry me." She swore that they had a pact and he was going to use Oprah's name to marry her, okay? So she then, okay, because she's a nutso obsessed fan, goes to get a restraining order on him just because she wants to be somehow involved in his life, somehow cause some kind of something into his life, okay, because she desires him so much and can't have him. So they give her this order, okay? And when he gets it, he's like, what the hell? Who the hell is this lady? I don't know who the hell this is. Of course, everything she wrote down is a freaking lie. So sent a lawyer there. Lawyer gets rid of it, okay? But there are still states like that allow any lunatic, any obsessed, mentally ill person, whatever, liar, thief, criminal, to go in there and get an order. Okay? And there are other states that don't allow that kind of stuff. Okay? So then what do you have to do? Well, then you've got to hire an attorney, right? And then you've got to go with your attorney into this other state, and you bring all of your evidence, and it has to be consistent. Yeah, you go in there with all of your evidence, all of your little sound bites of threats, death threats, all of your evidence that you have, all the emails and everything about it, every comment that was screenshot, everything. You go into court and you've got to show that this person is whacked, okay? Well, you're not going to say it that way, of course. You're going to say it very eloquently, but the judge is going to see it, and that gets ripped up, thrown out there. Now the next thing you've got to do is hire the attorney to go after these people or person or people, if there's a group that's coming after you, and charge them civilly. Okay? So now you have a civil suit, and that's going to be heard in the Supreme Court. And that's going to be subpoenas for the text messages and all kinds of things for people that came in and caused havoc in your life. It takes a little longer, it costs money, but in the end, you've got to do the civil suit. The civil suit, yeah. The civil suit is not heard in the court that the restraining order is heard. It takes more time, subpoenas from all kinds of people, including, there's a lot of people that can be called on that, ex-spouses, past employers, people that you feel were involved in whatever was going on, civil court, or I believe it is civil court, but then I think it can be brought up to the Supreme Court, Sharon, from what I have in my notes, depending on the charges there. But anyway, so that's another thing. And put you off posting anything online, just don't make threats. Don't call people and make death threats. Don't try to destroy people's lives just for the fun of it. If they, yes, restitution, and of course, if they don't have a job, that comes out, publicly, that they don't have a job, but then their wages will be garnished if they ever do get a job. That's the way it works. So then, and nobody says, all lies, because everything's public knowledge then. Once that comes out, names, addresses, everything is public knowledge for everyone involved. Is this not just it? No, not really, Alicia, no. How can they lose custody of their children? I don't know. If their ex-spouse, maybe they've lost custody already. I don't know. Yes, I'm sure it doesn't. If they're in a custody battle, it's not going to go good that they're making death threats or they're doing this stuff. Have more record. But that's the way it works. But anyway, so they have those threats. And there should be universal laws in all states. To have some states that are just, your dog could go in there and get an anti-harassment order, a restraining order on someone, and people do it. Then there's the abuse, the abusive process they can be charged with when they have a false restraining order, and you show that with your proof that you bring to court. Then there's charges for that. Even if the judges there don't want to go after the perjury, your attorney can file civil charges. What is it? I believe it's abuse of process, because they made law enforcement go to someone's house and give them something, and they had to, those officers are paid for their time, and they could be fighting some other kind of crime, and this person thinks it's funny sending people around for no reason at all. So yeah, they are, that's that's a charge. It's perjury, but it's called abuse of process. I believe that's, I have my notebook in the other room with all my stuff. And there's other charges. Yeah. So, sometimes when someone goes to play a silly game, a very harmful game, it's not, I shouldn't even say silly. When an unhinged person goes to play a game with someone's life and they think it's funny, when it bites them back, it's not so funny. And when it bites the friends back that are involved with this, not so funny. That's perjury, Adva. But it's the perjury in there, it's not often pursued, and that's why these people go and do this stuff, okay? But I believe it does, Paula. But you have to hire an attorney and attack it at a civil level. Because they're wasting the time of law enforcement when they know everything they're saying is fraudulent. We're working on that in the legal. Legal's trying to do stuff like that. That's one of the things that I spoke with that person that was scammed by their friend. And they said, make it public. They told me, go public with it. They said, go public. Anytime someone has something like this, have a friend videotaping you going to court out of state, having to pay for hotels and, boarding your animals. Get that all on video, because he's filming a documentary about this. And so that you show exactly what someone has to go when someone abuses these laws. Because this is not, there's flawed laws there. There's flawed laws, obviously, in New Mexico and other states. I think Nevada is very easy. I think you said, Jessica, right, to do the same type of thing like this. Whereas New York, it's not. And yes, documents everything, and then it's fair game. There is no more doxing. That's once you go to court, there's no more doxing. It's a matter of public record. And that's why this person that got scammed has that whole blog with pictures and all the information, and other victims are coming forth, because you can bet there's other victims there. It's called karma, yeah. Those friends will be like rats deserting a sinking ship if they think they're going to get sued too. Too late if they've already been text messaging. So, it's the things, civil cases. That's what happens. So if someone does something like that to you, document everything you have to do for the nonsense, and go public with it. Because there's going to be other victims. Can't delete, no. And sometimes when, Teresa, when there's a number of people, it's very possible that there's a turncoat in there that's sent text messages already. Yeah, it's abuse of laws. It's a lot of things that need to be changed. People think it's funny, like, you know, like some other people were calling CPS on people just for kicks, okay? People were calling cops just for kicks, okay? And then when someone files an anti-harassment order and the very next morning tries to FaceTime you from the number that they gave you the death threats from, oh boy, that's a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift. That's, you screenshot that gift and you send that to your attorney. That's a gift. That's a gift. And when their friend, lover, roommate interrupts your live broadcast, telling you that this person is mentally ill, puts their name in it, tells you that they're suicidal or whatever, they're going to not live through the night, and then gives you more threats in there, that's another gift. Screenshot it, send it to your attorney. That was an incredible gift. A call to FaceTime with me after, I'm so scared of this person. I'm so scared of them. I can't even talk. Oh, let me FaceTime. I'm going to FaceTime because I'm so scared. It really wasn't awful, Danielle. It was a gift. It was a gift. It was a gift. Can you imagine the judge with that? Oh my gosh, humiliation. Isn't unbelievable. No, you really, I mean, this is just ridiculous, but this is what happens when people are unhinged and they don't think. What can you imagine? Oh, let's say you're the judge, you're so scared of this person, but oh look, I have a screenshot of your number and you're trying to FaceTime with this person. And then, 3 days earlier, what is that, your significant other that called and tried to tell her that you were on the verge of death, you weren't going to make it through the night, and then threatened them again? And let's see, this person hasn't contacted you since the beginning of June and told you to stop contacting her, and yet you've continued to text her. And you have an anti-harassment order. Okay, good. FaceTime is like a video chat. Well, Janelle, civil matters take time after. This is not the end, but it's a can of worms that I didn't open. Not my can of worms. I don't know, Sakura. I don't know. I have no idea who the woman is. That's why I said, I don't know. Friend, lover, roommate, who knows? I don't know. I don't really care. Except that they're texting me and they're harassing me. I don't need it. You found the cricket? How far is Cape Cod from? I wonder how far Cape Cod is from. Let's see. Where is it that I've got to go? North Vilrika. That's not the court. The court is here. Where's my thing? Hang on. I wonder, who's from Massachusetts? Is Laura here? I didn't ask you a question. Oh, the Lowell, I guess Lowell? How far is, like, what's around there? Anything, any kind of attractions for kids and stuff? Whoops. I can't get back to the chat. You were born there? Okay. Do you know where the Lowell District, like the Lowell District Court, I don't know, is that Lowell? Is that the town, Lowell? Lowell? It's about 1.5 hours? That's not that bad. Who knows if I'll find any type of rooms or anything, but maybe. Look into that. Your husband goes to Cape Cod every year to fish. It's very close. Okay, so let's see. If it's only 1.5 hours, that's not that bad. Kids need a treat after going into that crazy town. Yeah, I was just wondering how far it is from where this district is. It'll all come out. See me? Everything will come out. In civil matters, because there's restitution, so they'll have to know a person's employment and all of that good stuff. Yeah, do you know where it is? I know it's like, I don't know, 5-6 hours. That's why we just had to get the strut on my car, because it has to be all tip top. Cape Cod has lighthouses. You work in Lowell? How far, what's around there? Any good attractions? You can take a tour in the mills. It's all $4.95. Oh, you were hacked, Sunny Bunny? Jen, what's around there? Oh, okay, good. Thank you, Ariel Mama. They have a trolley ride? Seafood. I might as well, if I'm going up, have some seafood, right? They must have crab legs. Good crab. I love crab legs. Oh no, don't do that, Cowgirl. Don't pull his legs off. It's not the poor little cricket's fault. Crab or lobster. You think it's northern Mass near Salem? Is that where the witches were? Salem witch trials? Oh, why yes, Teacup. That's the fun of it. Lobster. Yeah. I really want crab legs. Oh, I know Lowell is not a very good city. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, my poor kids and everybody that's got to be dragged through that hellacious. I've seen the pictures because when I was Googling the map. I don't want to be there. No. You got to do what you got to do. And I will get away from there as quickly as I can. Your mom's home, Angel Callie. Wonderful. Oh, I won't, Danielle, I will not stay there. Not a chance in your life will I stay there. Lowell sucks. Yeah. 35, 45 minutes away. Burlington Mall has a cheesecake factory. Lobster, you love. You've been to Salem, the House of Seven Gables. Any outlet malls around there probably for still stuff. Well, yeah, that would be done, Diana, but then we have the civil process that's going to take time, subpoenas, all of that good stuff, and then we've got to go to another court. Yeah, April, I'll be getting a police escort in and out. And believe me, I will not be anywhere around that area without a police escort. Well, Angel Caleb, we have a list, but we're not adding anyone right now. But we can put you on a list, but we're not adding anyone right now. Oh, me too, Sharon. Oh my gosh, yeah, I love crab legs. Hey, Jigsaw Puzzler. Whale watching. At this time, can you do it this time of year? Is this a good time of year? I'll have to look around. You and everyone else, April, yeah. It's just crazy. This will be a very tough lesson. It can all be dropped by her still. I don't know. But then I think this civil part of it, I don't know how that would... And then with the FBI, that's something else totally. So there's like two other components. You can, but you have to go out a bit in a big boat. Friday. Nashua, New Hampshire. I had a friend that moved to Nashua, has the Pheasant Lane Mall. Yeah, absolutely, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. Right, Ariel Mama, yeah. That would be a civil matter then, Kathy. All of that is civil matter. Absolutely, Teresa. Yeah, absolutely. They get their retainers right up front. Oh, you took a painkiller? Oh boy. Cathedral of the Pines. Oh, really? You get seasick, Alicia? No, I don't get seasick. Near Salem, Mass. is the Liberty Tree Mall. They have a kids' jumpy place in there. That's fun. DMD. Hello, DMD. I've got a lot of testimonial to the outlets in Merrimack if you're going to Nashua. Sonia, yes, my brother and my nephews, they are attorneys, yes. I don't know, Muka. I'm trying to, I mean, it's, you know, want to do something with the kids because I got to be put through this crap. Oh my gosh, yeah, Lisa Slater, I've got to check on her. Lisa Slater, if you're listening, let us know you're okay. Better with the medication. We already got all we've already screenshot everything, April. Everything is screenshot, everything. Everything. That was done a long time ago. No, it's not started. Yeah, no. Muka for this, yes, but then the civil matter goes. I don't know, Mommy. Thanks, Cowgirl Up. A coastal weekend, yeah. I don't know. Like it's going to be yes or no. Like what's available out there? Because I mean it's getting towards the end of summer. People are renting stuff, going out. Not at all, Daily Hope. Nope. I can talk about what I'm going through. My attorney has said that. I can talk about it. I can talk to anyone. I don't talk to her. That's the only thing. When someone does something like this, it becomes a public matter. Once I'm served with a paper where I have to go to a certain court, there's no secret about it. It's done. Secret is over. When you bring something to court, it's a public matter. Yes, Teacup, Friday. A lot of people don't understand like what is going on or what you can talk about and what you can't talk about with these orders. And that's another thing that should be cleared up. Genie's out of the bottle. All bets are off when you go and do something like this. That's it. You don't have any privacy. You don't serve something like this on someone and think you have privacy. You don't. No, she really didn't think this through, Tracy B. Canopy Lake Amusement Park. 15 minutes. Thanks, Kathy, and your prayers for your son. That's great. With absolutely, she wanted to drag my name, my channel, my blog, everything through the mud. Everything through the mud. Yes, I mean, there's no doubt that was made very public. Mrs. Roger Rabbit? Yeah, very confident of that. Plus, if she comes into New York, she will be arrested, because then the state police can arrest her. They can arrest her. The thing is that they're not going to extradite a person in another state. Okay? That's why they give it to the FBI. But if that person comes into your state and you see that person that gave you the death threats that I have the affidavit with the state police about, I just have to call the state police. I'm sorry too. It's caused a lot of pain and suffering and loss of income, lots of things, because if I'm preparing for a trial, I'm not able to do blog assignments and things that my head should be at. And that's all stuff for a civil court. Oh, I'm sure I'm not the first victim. You rarely are, when you're dealing with someone like this. The end of March. No, Melly Mel, it's not that. That's not the death threat. That you didn't hear. There's other death threats. That's not the death threat that we're talking about. This is something different, Melly Mel. I will, Carla. I am going to write the whole story. Absolutely, Diana. Very certainly so, Aletha, right? Yeah, Millie Mel, I'm not even worried about that, because what I do have that is coming from the number that I need and everything is more than enough. Oh yeah, we have seen me. That's what I'm saying. That's why there's other people. Fighting and narcissism in her channel. She was a troll. A lovely young woman. She was a troll. I don't get it, Cece. I don't understand what you're saying. There's crochet people going through this right now. That's so, I don't get it. Oh my gosh. The people that do this kind of things really 100% have to have no life. Because if they did, they would not have the time to do this type of stuff. The crochet world. That's what I said. That reminds me when I told my daughter about the knitters. I'm like, I thought knitters were normally nice people, but they'll bump into you at the Rhinebeck thing, and oh my gosh, is there still a Six Flags? I don't know. But truly, just preparing for something like this leaves you very little to do. I mean, if you're sitting there and you're memorizing, my words were memorized. I mean, where they're spoken verbatim, that's a lot of obsession. To the extreme and scary. It was extreme and scary. And that's why, you know, those videos were taken. And they were made for one purpose: defamation of my character, defamation of the brand name that I've worked so hard for, just to really try to ruin someone out of jealousy, out of spite, whatever it was. But it is criminal. Absolutely. And morally wrong. They're repeating my words, yes. You know how many times someone has to watch something to repeat words like that? Yeah, we had a case. We did have a good case about a family. Absolutely, Sonia. I did take the high road. I did take the high road and told this person, don't contact me. I'm taking the high road. Leave me alone. And for whatever reason, and you can draw your own conclusions, they couldn't stop. They came into my channel, Carla. Came into my channel. Photographic, yeah. I doubt it. I mean, Alicia, I'm sure with this type, there are other victims, just like that con woman that we did the story on with that producer from Shark Tank, who's a very nice guy, a really nice guy. He's been helping a lot. And if you haven't seen his story, go back to, I think we did it Sunday night. Take a look at that story. But he's the one that's saying, record everything. Record, record, record. She's at. Thanks, Ariel Mama. Thanks so much. Young couple got it first, and oh boy, I've heard about harassment like that. There are just people that just love making people's lives miserable. Where's my... I don't know where my cat is. My cat's not here. Cat. Yes, wildlife, and yes, and others with lies. It's because they're miserable. I agree, Carolyn. I don't even know that that's, you know when someone lies all the time, Debbie? Someone lies, and then you don't know what they're saying, if it's true anymore or not. But what happens is, who knows what they're saying, right? Who knows? Oh my gosh, Kathy, that is very nice. Thank you. Far too generous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, look, the cat came out. You got it. Yeah, I know, Carol Lucy. A lot of people were abused. And if anybody knows someone named Cinnamon Hot Hot, because that was another thing. this woman used to be on this channel and she was abused. And come to find out, she was abused on her own page. Horrible things written in comments, just attacking her. And someone thought, she thought, Cinnamon, that I condoned it or I knew about it. And no, when I had heard something about that, I said, what in the world are you doing to this woman? What is wrong with you? You know? And that's when everything, you know, you get to see a person's true colors and you're like, leave me alone. But yes, that's one of the things I do want to connect up with Cinnamon and just get a statement. This documentary is called 2020 Woman Harassed Couple Over House. Oh, yes, I think I remember that one, right? Yeah, yes, right? Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, talk to her, Melly Mel. I have to talk to her myself. Hey, Pitbull Sleuth. Debbie? Could be. Oh, yeah, wildlife? Yeah, I'll have to. Yes, Teacup. Daily Hope. I have an attorney. Okay? I know what I can talk about. I can talk about to whoever I want except that person, what I'm going through, what's happening to me, what's a matter of public record with the court, all of that. Okay, so don't worry. Believe me, I'm fine. An anti-harassment order is staying away from a person's workplace, staying away from a person's home, even if they're the same thing, and then not contacting that person. Didn't do any of those things, don't plan to do any of those things. I'm not the one that's calling to FaceTime the day after something like that is taken. No, no, Cece. Oh, yeah, Kathy, yeah, I know there was a retaliation there. Well, no, I have the order. There's only the one location. Only one location mentioned. But believe me, we don't move in the same circles anyway. thankfully. Oh, that's okay, Lorianne. This is why you keep to yourself. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's sad. As sad as it is, I wouldn't. There's more good than bad. So yeah. Daily Hope. It is not. Daily Hope, I've never seen you before in my life, and all you keep coming in here and saying this. So I'm kind of getting a little suspect of who you are. Okay? But believe me, what I'm doing does not constitute any breach at all. But thanks. I love how you people you've never seen, and they're coming and they're telling you to shut up. Shut up. Oh, here we go. We got Casey Apple in here. Yes, I've been talking about her relentlessly, right? Hope I have proof? I don't have to hope I have proof. I have it, hun. Here they come, right? Yeah. See, if they say something, they might in their own head believe it to be true. Just like someone else said that I made a channel about them. That person was deranged too. That was someone else. And now this one thinks I talk about them relentlessly. Let's go back into all the lives and let's hear the relentless talking. They always come in groups. I don't think they want their channel. Casey Apple. I'm pretty sure I have a good idea who Casey Apple is. I wouldn't want that channel either, so I can't blame them. Don't even worry about Daily Hope. Daily Hope and Casey Apple and whatever the Boston Red Sox fan, and what other name could they come in with next? I don't know. As I said, wildlife, all that seems so sweet, it doesn't really. Oh, here we go. You just joined and you're confused? No, I don't have to keep it to myself. Hey, Vivian. Yeah, let's move on. So what else did I have? I tried to watch Mindhunter last night, but I fell asleep. Give people enough, yeah. And then sometimes you say, I can't believe they hung themselves that quickly. Anyway, so I watched Mindhunter, but I have to do it again because I didn't, finish. I fell asleep. The show gives you the willies, Jigsaw Puzzler? Well, I mean, I'm only on, I really just started watching it. Oh, you should, Teresa. It's really good. And if you have family members, then you guys could all get like one plan. You think there can be like 5 different attractions. Did I watch The Upside? No. What is it on? Is it on Netflix? Mindhunter's so good. You can have Netflix viewing parties. It has chat. Oh, really? My daughter did that with a friend before they even had anything like that. They used to watch the movie on Netflix and then text back and forth. So now because they moved it together so you can chat with friends. But that's hard, though, to pay attention to the movie and be chatting. You miss stuff. It's fun, I guess, but sometimes you miss stuff. The Kindness Diaries? Yes, Amy, it's on Netflix. Sunny Bunny, what was the name of the fabric markers that you got? Because I just had to return some to Amazon because some of them were like leaking, some of them were dry. You need to binge watch that tomorrow. Well, yeah, you'd be pausing it every 5 minutes. I believe so, Madagascar, but I don't really watch that. Oh, here we go, Dawn Break. That's what we're talking about, Dawn Break. Is Mindhunter true crime? Is Mindhunter, this is a family lifestyle blog. We can talk about anything we want, Dawn Break. Criminal Minds is on reruns. Oh, so it's not, okay. Thanks, Danielle. Any guesses, April? Good fabric makers. Oh, markers. That's the brand I got, Alicia, was Tulip, and I was not impressed. I hope it's just a bad batch. They're going to send me a new one. Your fabric markers are praying. Oh, really? Praying. Okay. All right. I bought Tulip, Sunny Bunny, and I wasn't happy. I took out a green and it was dry, and then I took out another one and it was leaking so bad. And then I just said, that's it. And then they said they'll replace them. Hey, Julie T. You love Mindhunter. You binged it 3 nights in a row. Wow. Good for you. Well, I watched Mule, which I liked with Clint Eastwood. I like that movie, Mule. Tulip, you've never heard of that one? Melly Mel, it's called Not Having a Life. Oh no, I can't part with my hoodie. The name of the case of the guy who put the makeup on to scrap. Yeah, there's probably a lot of guys that did that though. Because when I looked it up, remember there were a lot of guys? Dexter. Was it Jinxed? You mean Robert Durst? The Preppy murder? They had free HBO and Cinemax, and you were able to DVR. Oh, good. Let me know what you think about it, Metascast guy. 3 of a Kind. We got 3 of a Kind there. Karen Duffy, Winter in Ireland. It's the height of the summer. Well, I guess 3 of a Kind really doesn't Karen Duffy, would you like to respond to 3 of a Kind who says that it's not? It's the height of the summer in Ireland. I guess it's the height of the summer too in Australia. I know. I guess the person has never heard that, Cece. Lisa H. Is it about a murder? You're 58 in the morning. It is winter in Australia, Teresa. Your eyes are not what they used to be. But what was I saying? So, is there anything else that's come out good on Netflix? You'd think like around the 4th grade or something, I guess. I wonder if they don't know like different areas are night and day. When it's night here, it's day somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Just saying. Not the sharpest tools in the shed. You found out you're going to be a grandma? Oh, congratulations. Robert Chambers. Is that who it was? The preppy killer? Oh, the plastic surgeon, right? The arsenal. But his lawyers are saying no, but the public, he was not a domestic terrorist. This was just for his ex-wife. Diagnosis? What is that? Is that a medical show? Bill Pullman thing. Both series were excellent. I don't know, Evie. It's a third. Yeah, they can be expensive, right? Oh, a medical show with rare diseases? Then you're always thinking you have that, right? I don't know. I can't watch that stuff. Oh, really? You're having a 6th grandchild? Good for you, my full heart and hands. Congratulations. Yeah, so it was with Dick Van Dyke, right? Diagnosis murder? Kind of like, wasn't it like an Angela Lansbury kind of thing? Eight family members killed over a custody dispute a few years back. Trial coming up. Really, I think I saw that. You can't get that calamari with bubblegum? Yeah, she told all kinds of stuff like that. Oh, really? Yeah, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. You like them? They're called crafts. Crafts for all. All right, I'll write it down. You got a new kitten, first cat ever. We're a bit afraid of it. Oh. You're on your 7th granddaughter, Alicia? Wow. Congratulations. Wagner Case. Angela is better, even though I love Dick Van Dyke. You loved Columbo. Vivian. Quincy, yeah, I liked Quincy. Remember when he pulled the sheet off and then they were all like fainting and one guy's throwing up? He had a very astute wife, this Columbo. He loved Quincy. I loved Quincy, yeah. Karen, I know you're not. No, we weren't talking about that. There was somebody called Three of a Kind that didn't understand what you were saying. It wasn't you. Karen Duffy, I know. I ordered all my dog products. Oh, thank you, Joanne. And I think I got a card from you that maybe 2. I've got a backlog. Haven't opened anything, a lot of things yet. I have boxes here, jobs I have for Macy's, pillows I'm supposed to be repping. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. But I will get to everything. Thank you. Oh, don't have a meltdown, Karen. Sinner is a good show. Heart to Heart, Cagney and Lacey. My father used to like Cagney and Lacey. He liked all those shows, the Rockford Files. Maybe that's why there was always like playing in the background, all the Columbo, Beretta, Kojak. Which other ones did he watch? He watched all of those. And I'll never say like, oh, because like I didn't consider that's like just like a murder mystery, but my mother was like more into the true crime, and he was really into shows like that. Ironside, Serpico, stuff like that, right? Kojak with his lollipop, right? He liked Barney Miller. Monk. Oh yeah, Monk. Yes, I used to watch that. That used to come on. Gosh, when did I watch that? That would come on like really late at night, right, or something, like about 2004, 2003. I was watching it. Barnaby Jones. Oh my gosh, Barnaby Jones. That's, yeah, Barnaby Jones. I remember that. I remember that's the one, I think, the California fires, and the first time I saw that as a little kid, and these people had to leave their homes. I was like maybe 6 or something. It was made quite an impression. The Rockford, yeah. You did, Janelle. Good. Which show had Michael Douglas? Michael Douglas? A show with him? Oh, was it Michael Douglas in there? Streets of San Francisco? And Carl Malden, right? Yeah, he liked that one too. Streets of San Francisco. Hawaii 5-0. Book it, you got it, Carol. Let's see. Book them, Dan, all right. I didn't watch Heart to Heart, no. Law and Order, yeah, and then they came out with like every single one, and you could just, my daughter loved Law and Order. Good night, cowgirl. How's the camera? Did the camera work? I sent you a text. CSI did the same thing, yeah. It's a good thing. Let's just keep making spin-offs of it. Your Stan looks like James Garner, truth. You can only watch, I can only watch SVU. Yeah, that's like me too, Melly Mel. Emergency. Oh, yes, I loved that when I was a little kid. I used to come home, it was on Friday nights. Like first, second grade, I loved that. No, I don't remember that, Sonia. Original Law and Order. I don't know which one he was, but I know Adam 12. The one was my husband. The dark-haired one was my husband. I was like 5, 6. I already had TV husbands at 5. I was ahead of my time, but yeah, that was my TV husband. Somebody told me that it was theirs too, and I said, well, did you have children with him as well? And she said, no, we didn't have children. And I said, see, he likes me better. Your husband looks, okay. I believe it, Kathy. Saying elsewhere. Diane Schuler. I'll look at it. Okay. Policewoman. Yeah, my father liked that one too. Yep. Yep. Adam 12, Police Story. Saying elsewhere. I liked Trapper John MD. I was never, my sister liked Moonlighting. That was another one of my husbands as I got older. George Alonzo Gates. How about FBI? Elvis was your TV husband? 30-something. Yeah, I watched that too. 30-something, yep. You met the whole cast of Dallas? Oh, really? Good for you. Your camera works amazing. You check your email, but this cricket is calling. Okay, don't pull the legs off the cricket, though, please. You're away for a second, and you heard my sister likes moonlighting. Oh. Sonny and Cher, yeah. That's... Do you remember the Sunday night lineup on CBS? What was it? It was, there was the Jeffersons, right? Alice, right? Alice, I think it was the Jeffersons, Alice, Trapper John MD. What were the other two shows before that? Bob Newhart, but then what were the other two shows before that? Who watched that way back in the day? Trapper John MD was the 10 o'clock one. Archie Bunker, okay. Yeah, it was okay. And then there had to be one more. Alice and the Jeffersons. Alice was the diner, right? Mel's diner. But it was, the show was called Alice, right? All in the Family. I know Melly Mel. I know. I was little too. The Bob Newhart show, I think I saw that on reruns. Who remembers Match Game? Good Times? Was Good Times on that? The Waltons was on Saturday night, wasn't it? Monday night was Little House on the Prairie. Actually, it's so funny. My sister once dated a guy whose father was a really big executive at NBC. Okay, and I was like 8 years old, and we would go to their house, and he had all the press pictures of all the shows on NBC, and I mean boxes of them, 8x10 glossy photos, right? And the brother wallpapered his room in the pictures. And I remember he's like, take whatever you want. So we had all this stuff from NBC, and we had this one beach towel. I don't even know if we probably have it somewhere. And it said Monday, and it had all the shows. It said like Little House on the Prairie, blah, 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 Tuesday. And it was this beach, it had every day of the week. It was hysterical. No, there's 5:59 that I see. Oh, we did. I had a bunch of them. I had so many of them. I had like the Sigmund, the Seam, anything that was on there. Give Me a Break, right? Yeah. Facts of Life, that was on during the week, wasn't it? Like a Wednesday. Do you remember when they had to take the Facts of Life and they had like a budget cut or something? Remember Facts of Life was in that whole boarding school, and they had a lot of other kids there, and then they had to make them get into trouble so that they were living above the cafeteria with Mrs. Garrett. Remember when they had to cut the cast down? And then Tootie always said a famous thing, right? Someone's in trouble, make that a double, right? Wasn't that her thing? Your sister didn't? Yeah, my sister wasn't into, I was into Little House on the Prairie. Family, yeah, very good show, Family. That was on, is it Monday nights or something? Walt Disney had a family type show. Yeah, there was, I almost want to say The Wonderful World of Disney, right? And then there was a Mutual of Omaha show. I think the guy Larry Tate from Bewitched was the one that was the host of that. Perfect Strangers. Do you remember Perfect Strangers? That was the Saturday. What did they call that on Friday? The where they had, what was it? Full House, Perfect Strangers, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Oh, thanks, Kathy. That's TGI Friday. Okay, thank God it's Friday. TGIF. All right. And what about that one with Valerie Harper? That was, and then I think the housekeeper died or something, and they had to replace her. I think it was an H. The Hannigans, not the Hannigans. Do you know what I'm talking about? Valerie Harper then left the show. The Hogans? Is that what it was? Hogans? Why do I remember something about the Hogans in my washing machine? I don't know why I'm thinking of that. Might have been an episode like that. You Love Family would tell me that the Buddy show was... Oh, Buddy. I loved Homefront. Right, that we had that. You have to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. Valky, right? Yep. Mork and Mindy. Addams Family. The Munsters. 1313 Mockingbird Lane. My Two Dads. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. That was that on? Did that go on TGIF? The Hogan Family. Was Sandy Duncan? I thought it was... Was it Sandy Duncan? I thought it was Valerie Harper. Not on TGIF. My Two Dads. Yes, hi Maui Chickadee, how are you? Animal shows. You love those. They both played on that. Oh, they both did? Okay. What other shows were there? Mary Tyler Moore. That was the old Sunday lineup, right? It was Bob Newhart, Mary Tyler Moore, Phyllis. You remember the show Phyllis? And Rhoda, right? And then what did it go into? What was the hour show after that? Carol Burnett show. That was Friday nights or Saturday nights. That girl I only remember seeing in the afternoon. Agent 99 WKRP in Cincinnati. We used to have somebody in here, and I always called her WKRP in Cincinnati. Maybe that's why she left. No, I don't even know that she left. She might have changed her name. But it looked like that. I used to always call her WKRP in Cincinnati. Maude. Oh, right. Maude was another one, right? Maude. But what was the hour show that it went into? No, it was oh, then there was Friday, right? There was Fantasy Island, The Love Boat, Fantasy Island. Before the TGIF, it used to be Love Boat. Was that on at 8 o'clock? 8 to 9. And then I think there were like Donnie and Marie show. Was that on too? Before that, then The Love Boat. Then, yes, I remember things like this. I know it's crazy. And then Fantasy Island. Because when you're a kid like that, Kathy, your life revolves around those shows like that. Right? Because it's like Sunday night, like Trapper John and Deej, you got 1 hour. and you've got to be in bed, or like on Friday night you have Fantasy Island coming, and then that's the plane. And then like you had Family Ties on Tuesday, right there, Tuesdays or something. Family Ties. What were the other shows that run with Family Ties? Oh, what about that one, Life Goes On? When was that on? Sunday? Life Goes On? Alf, Punky Brewster was on. What else? Who was the one with the futons? Was that Everybody Loves Raymond when they went back? About the futons, that somebody was a futon salesman and that's how they met their spouse. Was that Everybody Loves Raymond? That was another show, I think. It was that one? I thought that was another show, like a spin-off. Because there was another show. I don't think it got picked up for much. Who remember the one where I think it was only one season. She had a baby, and the theme song was I like bread and butter, or I like toast and jam. And I'm trying to think who the woman was. Do you remember that show that was only on for a little bit called The Mommies? And it had the two mothers living next door to each other, and then they had that one that was the perfect mommy, and she would dust the whole steering wheel before she took a drive. Moved Deborah's futon, but I think I'm getting it mixed up with another show, because there was another show that was about an area rug. It was about an area rug. Baby Talk, right? Yeah. Who was the actress on that? I think she was the one from The Mommies. You remember the shows but not the schedules? Yeah, okay, but I think I have got two shows mixed up there. Doogie Howser, yeah, right. And he would always go on that journal at the end of that blue, it's like a Commodore 64 or something. The Mommies was a show. It was on NBC, I believe it was. Maybe a couple of seasons. They were these kind of imperfect mommies that lived next door to each other. And then there was this perfect mommy with the blonde hair that did everything right. Nobody remembers that one? Probably late 90s, mid to late 90s it was on. Yep, Captain Kangaroo, Mr. Green Jeans, and the Little Bunny. You never saw that one? It was on NBC. It was only a couple of seasons. Phyllis and Rhoda, right? You remember the Mommies, Jeannie? Okay. Isn't it scary how many shows have gone? The A-Team. Just the 10 of us. Anybody? It sounds familiar. The Cosby Show. Who remembers the one? I think it was one season or two seasons. I think it was called Noah's Ark or something Noah. And they lived in Florida somewhere, and the mother was a veterinarian, and they had all these animals. Something about Noah. Just the 10 of us. What was just the 10 of us? Benson. There was Soap, which I didn't watch. Those were on ABC. Roseanne, Married with Children, Home Improvement. Yeah, that was another lineup. You had Home Improvement. Good Night, Mary. I'm trying to think. Silver Spoons. Yeah, that was Saturday nights. Silver Spoons. The Nanny. That was, I think, Monday nights. The Nanny. Frasier. Oh, that was Mad About You, right? Then you had Frasier. Then I think you went into not Chicago Hope. Chicago Hope is another one. That was CBS. The one, I'm not looking at you. It was another hospital show with Anthony, what's his name? Not Chicago Hope. It was, I'm not looking there because I want to remember it on my own. Chicago Hope was CBS. And that was always On My Count. 1, 2, 3 when they, okay. Noah Wiley. Why am I not? I'm ER, was it? See, I was going to say, was it ER? Okay. George Clooney, right, yeah. Silver Spoon, the Ricky Schroeder, yeah, absolutely. Different Strokes. And then that was Saturday night too, right? Step by Step, Suzanne Summers, right? That was TGIF stuff. And wasn't it Bobby from Dallas that was the husband? You had 4 shots. Yeah, what you talking about, Willis? So Mary Hartman, yeah, that was on 5. I think it was on 11 o'clock, wasn't it? Right after the 10 o'clock news. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Courtship of Eddie's father. People, let me tell you about my best friend. It was ER, yeah, ER. Okay, yes, it is. Benny Hill. That was Channel 9 for us. Benny Hill. You had Antenna TV. What about Barbara Mandrell? Was a special, right? She had specials all the time. Love Boat, Fantasy Island, right? Patrick W. Taxi, yeah, Taxi. Who's the Boss, right? Barbara Mandrell, okay, she had a show, all right. Hill Street Blues, that's another one my father liked. Hill Street Blues. The car coming to, I remember that. I like the theme. Bob Newhart, Cheers, right? Mr. Ed, we would see that if we stayed home from school on the reruns with Dennis the Menace in black and white. Oh, Sisters, yes, that was oh my gosh, yes, I watched that all the time. Sisters, that was Saturday night. Look how, isn't it scary that we've gone through all these shows? My gosh, it's just like years and years, right? Love American Style, I remember that as a little kid in this summer. Brady Bunch, of course, saw that mostly on reruns. Room 222, Flying Nun, Star Search. Maybe you should. I read a lot of books too. Minnie Mandrels. My oldest sister had dark hair, black hair, you're a redhead. Oh, really? Just shows you how much their brain retains. You've been watching Johnny Carson reruns on YouTube. Father Knows Best. Marcus Welby. Welcome Back, Cotter. The Twilight Zone, yeah. We always watch the Bob Hope. Oh, the Bob Hope specials. Yes, yes, yes. Remember those? With a torch. Looks like you have a lot in common. I think a lot of us have a lot in common in this stuff, yeah. Another hospital show, yeah, Howie Mandel. That was St. Elsewhere, right? Alicia? 3:33. Oh, not for me yet, almost. Thanks, Janelle. St. Elsewhere, right? There you go, 3:33 now. Orson Welles, Greatest Mysteries. There was a, what about Matlock? There was Matlock. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, right? Flipper. Every Labor Day, the Jerry Lewis telethon, right? Leave It to Beaver. When I first saw Leave It to Beaver, Sunny Bunny, was the first time we got cable TV and we had like TV Land channel or something, and I was amazed. I had never seen Leave It to Beaver before then. I was like, oh my gosh, all this chat, right? That's crazy. Greatest American Hero. That had a good theme song. The Munsters, yeah. Dark Shadows. My sister used to have little cards from them. She used to watch that all the time. I do remember Soap. Yes, Hazel. Lost in Space. My sister loved that, Lost in Space. Marcus Welby, MD. Yeah. I like that show. He Was Your Boyfriend, Millie Mill? Dean Martin. I Dream of Jeannie. Yeah, I used to watch that on reruns. Okay. My Full Heart and Hands. Pick up your crochet hook. American Bandstand, right? And Laugh-In. Yes, absolutely Laugh-In. I was going to say Midnight Special. The Wonder Years. That was a good show. The Wonder Years. Murder, She Wrote, Dukes of Hazzard, Starsky and Hutch, Chips. My Three Sons. Yeah, that was that I saw in reruns all the time. Yeah. Benson. Family Affair. I like that show. With Mr. French. Twin Peaks, yes. And what was the other one with the Wisteria Lane? What the heck? What was the? It wasn't Housewives. What was it? Wisteria Lane one. George Burns, Gracie Allen, The Muppet Show. Desperate Housewives. Okay. Stepford Wives is a movie. Yeah, that's a funny movie. Well, it's not made to be funny, but it's funny to me. Incredible Hulk was on. Yeah. Desperate Housewives. I Love Lucy, of course. I saw that on reruns. The Lucy Show. Anybody remember that special of the 90s? It was like a newscast, and they said, we're going to destroy, I believe, Third Rock from the Sun? But You Loved Hotel and Connie Selica. Oh, Hotel. Facts of Life, yeah. So we didn't have smartphones. Probably true, though, Sassy Darcy. David Cassidy, right, The Partridge Family. I had him on my wall, too, Lisa. Malcolm in the Middle. Also The Middle, right? Modern Family. Bosom Buddies. Oh, Bosom Buddies, right? Yeah, Fraggle Rock. Addams Family. The Waltons. Wasn't there Seven Brides for Seven Brothers or something? Not that I watched that really much. Oh, did you, Sonny? Michael was on the back here. Yeah, we were probably all going to marry him. That girl. Oh, Bobby Sherman. Richard Dean Anderson was on Seven Brides. And then MacGyver. Then he was on MacGyver. He started out in General Hospital. You were engaged to Glenn Campbell when you were 12. We had this book on Glenn Campbell. It was in the bookcase, and it was like, I don't know, it must have been like a fan book, probably with like his first wife, and it was like one of those pictorial fan books. And I remember I used to just look at it and look at their haircuts and yeah, it's funny. Oh, dinosaurs, yeah, On the Baby. Gidget. The Patty Duke Show. My sister used to watch that one. Dick Van Dyke Show. Used to watch that on reruns. Hi, Sharon. You were going to marry Aaron Carter when you were young, Robin? Then you thought better of that? His hair, right? Yeah, I know. Hair and the striped pants and yeah, crazy stuff. Good night, Evelyn. Flying Nun, that was one my sister liked, yeah. Alf. There was Alf. Punky Brewster. When you were young, you had a crush on Conan O'Brien, and you kind of still do, Robin? Understandable. Do you remember the one where he smashed his head so bad and they would replay it and he'd say, oh, my wife can't stand that every time she sees that, and you guys just keep replaying that, when he had that really, really bad where he slipped and fell and really whacked his head? And it was horrible. Monday night movie, right? And the Sunday night movie, and they had some really good movies then, and miniseries then, before a lot of people had cable, with like Meryl Streep, like in the Holocaust miniseries and stuff, and then the Shogun and Roots, and they had good stuff on TV then. Mannix, The $1 Million Man, The Bionic Woman. You were a walking TV guide as a kid. Sonny and Cher, they had a lot of those variety type shows, right? Donnie and Marie show, Sonny and Cher, Laughing, Macmillan and Wife. One of you gave me the name of that movie, that TV movie where it was Shirley Jones and some guy, and they adopted these kids and they took them away. And I think it might have been you, Lisa H. You gave me the name of that show. Hartman and Hartman. And I forgot to write it down, of course. The Late Show, The Late Late Show, The Late Movie. Remember when there was nothing else on and it would go to that colored, whatever the heck it was, with that horrible noise? Remember that? When the TV would just stop after 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning? Your daughter wanted to marry Tim McGraw. She despised Faith until she met her. And she got to see them. It's Your Love. Oh, yeah? Your mom bought some of the Waltons on DVD and made my sister and I watch it when we were young. Stops usually. TV stops. TV never stops. Right, unless you... Can you imagine? TV stopped. Oh, I thought it was some movie, and maybe it was Charlene. I don't know. It was somebody that gave me the name of it. Right, the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. If this had been a real emergency, you would have been prompted. Who'll save our children? J-Bells, how do you know that? Shirley Jones? I was a little kid when I saw that, and I've always wanted to watch it again. You was more of a fan of made-for-TV movies. Really? But that's an old one. I don't even know how you would have seen that. Escape to Witch Mountain. Remember the Apple Dumpling Gang? We had to watch that in school, the Apple Dumpling Gang. Yeah, you heard the right, the national anthem came on. TV's over for the night, folks. Herbie, the Love Bug, right? Andy Griffith. Yeah, the Andy Griffith Show. Happy Days. Joni Loves Chachi. Laverne and Shirley. What's the other one that came on after that? Welcome Back, Kotter, we said. Yeah, Lost on the Prairie. Cell Block H. Remember that came on Channel 11? That was a whacked show. Charles in Charge, of course. Of course, Charles in Charge. All the miniseries, right? Oh, Fat Albert. I used to love Fat Albert on Saturday mornings. Remember the Saturday morning cartoons, the Bugs Bunny show? Kids today don't even know about that. Right, cartoons, right. Kiss your butt goodbye. Prisoner. Oh, is it? Are you serious? I'm talking about the one that was on 11. They had that really weird female warden, and it was taped in a really weird way. What's the matter, Zozo? Oh, Mary. Yeah, when Mary, yeah, that was out of left field. I remember that. I'm like, this they have to sum this up. She can't really be blind. And remember when they renamed that school and it was so long? It's the Adam Kendall Jr. Alice Garvey School for the Blind. Where do you go again? I go to the Adam Kendall Jr. Alice Garvey School for the Blind. Okay, I didn't get that. I'm like, my sister and I were like, how could they make that name? ASMR. Cell block H. The one I'm talking about was on channel 11 and it had to be like, I was way too young to be watching it. Let me just say that my parents had no idea I was watching that. And I was probably like freaked out of my mind. I think it was Cell Block H. It was a women's prison. Petticoat Junction, Green Acres. Female warden. It's Australian? Really? Okay. I get that mixed up with like another prison show I saw with a female. I can't remember which one that was. That was really weird. VJ and the Bear, right? Casbat? Grizzly Adams. Oh, Highway to Heaven. I didn't watch that one, no. Touched by an Angel. Didn't really watch that one. Wentworth is Fantastic. On channel 11 though too. Okay, Molly Chickadee. Way ahead of its time, lots of shock value. Oh, MASH, yes, MASH, Honeycutt. Honeycutt was another husband of mine, yeah. The one that was away in the war. The 18. My sister liked it, The Lost in Space. That's the only reason I remember that. Knight Rider, yeah, right? Room 222. There was another something on Channel 4. Oh, Chico and the Man. And then there was like a one season something where this guy had his two boys and he was raising them alone in this apartment somewhere like in the inner city. I forget what that was called. He had two boys. I don't remember that one. No, not Sanford and Son. Oh, Kate and Allie, but that's not the one. Yeah. It was two guys. It was like one season, Channel 4, I think it was. The Jeffersons, Good Times, yeah. Remember when Janet Jackson was on the Good Times? That was an eye opener for me. That one. Thornbirds. Hey, Kristen. Alf. Jack LaLanne. That used to be on like at 6 in the morning, right? Faithful. She was really young. Who was really young? China Beach. Oh, my sister watched China Beach. Oh, Janet Jackson on that show. Yeah, right. She was abused, but Charlie's Angels. Yeah. Creature Feature. And who remembers Thriller? Remember that one? And like you never knew when it was going to come on. You had to like hope. Thriller. And then there was Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. 30-something. Night Gallery. Judy Blume, yes, I've read everything Judy Blume. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, Sheila the Great. Then there was Iggy's House, Forever. Which other ones did she have? Wifey later on. I'm trying to think what else she had. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, right? Oh, didn't she have one that was the Freeman? Not the Freemans. It was about a family where some part of the family was killed in the Holocaust. Sally J. Friedman as herself or something. Who did that one? Starring Sally J. Friedman as herself. That was Judy Blume, wasn't it? Tales of the Unexpected. Yeah. Nobody remembers that one, starring Sally J. Friedman as herself. Cosby, Mama's Family, right? That started on the Carol Burnett show. Judy Blume taught me. Oh, yeah. I think what else? Tales from the Crypt, yeah. Do you have Adrian? No, I don't. Not that I know. Oh gosh, sorry, I just gave my dog to that. Vincent Price, yeah, all right. Flowers in the Attic, Petals in the Wind, If There Be Thorns. And then the other one, Seeds of Yesterday. I read that. Hey, Diana. Swiss Family Robinson. Gilligan's Island. Oh, good luck at the doctor, Evie. Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Alfred Hitchcock Movies. Valley of the Giants. Stephen King. Tony Danza, Who's the Boss? Taxi, right? True Girls in Brooklyn is my favorite book all time. Neely. Whether the car. Bad Ronald, I remember that. That was the 4 o'clock movie. Remember? Do you remember? It used to always go like this. The 4 o'clock movie. At least it did for us. It was on ABC Art Network. BJ and the Bear. So many, right? Oh my gosh. Kids today don't know anything. Nothing about this. Nothing about that you waited all year for The Wizard of Oz to come on and there was no rewind if you weren't there before the VCRs. They have no idea. And like those Christmas specials that came on, the kids today don't even appreciate any of that because they have so much. We would wait all year for that. If you missed it, you missed it. Seinfeld, absolutely Seinfeld, yeah. That was Thursday night. That all led into ER. Mad About You, Seinfeld. Gone with the Wind. That's the truth. Yummy Mummies. Mad About You, right? You freaking love the Christmas TV listing. You sit there planning. The Newlywed Game. Oh yeah, the Newlywed Game, right? With I actually had a game of that. We used to play with our neighbors and stuff way back in the day. The dating game, right? The Gong Show. The Gong Show. Treasure Hunt was one of my favorite game shows. I loved Treasure Hunt. That was on 5 or Fox. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yes, love that. Gene Rayburn, a match game. Password, and then the $25,000 pyramid that kept changing. It used to be the $10,000 pyramid. Supermarket Sweep. My daughter used to love that. Card Sharks. My sister's son, anytime he would stay home from school, you had to watch Card Sharks. Remember Tattletales? That game show? And it always had George Costanza's father, Ben Stiller's real father, and Ann Mira, the real-life wife. They were always on Tattletales. To Tell the Truth. What's My Line? The one with the devil, Joker. Remember that one? Beat the Devil, was it? Something. tic-tac-toe, tic-tac-doe. Apple's Way, yeah. Joker's Wild, right? Joker's Wild. Hollywood Squares. Friends. Yes, there was a killer that was on there, yeah, on that dating game. Price is Right, of course. Family Feud. Jeopardy. Let's Make a Deal. Show the Consequences. Concentration. Candid Camera, yes, Candid Camera. Press Your Luck. Beat the Clock. Oh my gosh, yes. We used to watch that so much that my sister and I would, like, you know, when you don't listen to somebody and they tell you something and you're watching TV and you go, yeah, yeah, yeah. My mother said, I'm going downstairs to defrost this huge freezer that was downstairs. So after Beat the Clock was over, we're looking for my mother, and my father was out on a business meeting, so we couldn't find my mother. We didn't know where she was, so we went to our neighbor and we said our mother was lost. And this neighbor was looking at every room in the house, opening closets. Oh my gosh. Till we got downstairs to my mother, and then she's like, I told you guys, I said I'm defrosting the freezer, but we didn't listen to her. We said, yeah, 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 because we're watching Beat the Clock. Funniest home videos. Magic Garden. I used to like to stay home from school to watch the Magic Garden. And I keep meaning to look up those PBS shows. They were like educational shows that they used to show in school, but if you were home and you were sick, you could watch them and you felt so special because you felt like you only saw them in school. It's a crazy thing like this. They didn't have YouTube. And I know one was Bread and Butterflies. And then there was this one where this guy drove this van. I have to look up these PBS shows. Hi, Lacey. Benson, yeah, Benson. Oh, right, Real People, yeah. The Hardy Boys mysteries. Remembered how serious she got when it was time for the big deal of the day. Was sure to pick for having me remember her. Graciela. Beverly Hillbillies, right? Oh, Lost, yeah. I didn't watch that though. Survivor is another one I didn't watch. I mean, I saw a couple of them. Get Smart. You'll damage your eyes or you'll get radiation. Remember the radiation one? Nancy Drew, right? Nancy Drew Mysteries. Bosom Buddies, yeah, with Tom Hanks, right? Silver Spoons with Ricky Shore. We said that one. What's the one with Marlou Henner? Wait, Mary Lou Henner and Burt Reynolds, Evening Shade. Designing Women. What was on those times? Evening Shade, Designing Women. I think that was on Monday nights. Murphy Brown was on then. Don't Eat the Daisies. Murphy Brown, and there was Bob Newhart. Yeah, Newhart. Melrose Place, Beverly Hills 90210. What was that one? Party of Five. You could move TV anywhere in the house. Gumby. Oh, remember Davy and Goliath? Davy. I have Davy and Goliath. I still have them in the package, and they're in the other room. Remember that? On this brought to you by what was the church that it was? Was it the Latter-day Saints? I don't know. It was Davy. Remember Sally? The Flintstones, right? The Honeymooners. You're going to have dreams about them tonight. Mr. Bill. Howdy Doody. Tom and Jerry. Oh my gosh. That's one. The Tom and Jerry. I have to tell my kids were addicted to that. I think it was because my cousin's kids watched it. And then it was on like I have to bring that out. There was a year ago. Wait, maybe it was before. I'm gonna write that down because I want to ask. They were addicted to Tom and Jerry, and I like Tom and Jerry too. It was Empty Nest, Three's Company. The Ropers, didn't they have a spin-off, The Ropers? Mighty Mouse. Underdog. Remember Underdog? Paper Moon. That was a movie first, wasn't it? With Dana Hill. And then it went to a series. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Felix the Cat. Felix the Cat. Yes, I have a Felix the Cat for the Christmas tree. Polly from Underdog. Yes. Go Speed Racer. Wonder Woman. Oh, Isis. Remember Isis? Saturday mornings. That one I liked. Batman. I used to watch that. Same bat time, same bat channel. Tweety Bird, yeah. Thought I saw a kitty cat. Shazam, Nice. Yeah, but it was like a Wonder Woman lady. It's a terrible name now, but it was like, she was like Wonder Woman. Nobody remembers that. She used to turn around really fast. Nobody remembers her, Isis. Scooby-Doo. Okay. Wonderama. Yes, Wonderama. My cousin was on Wonderama. Zoom. That was Zoom. Linda Carter. Foghorn Leghorn, yeah. Bozo. You want to be Isis. That doesn't go well today, you know? Just has a bad connotation. Xena Warrior Princess. Chilly Willy the Penguin, yeah. There was another one I used to watch. There was a weird show that used to be on, and they had this, like, it was on in the afternoon. They had this witch's brew, and I used to go in the bathroom and then put all this stuff in the sink and pretend I had this. I forget what it was. I think it was like a one-season wonder, and it was on right after, like, school. Disney movies. You have the whole wonder. Barney Fife. Big Crush. Your grandfather did Maria Kitty Cat? Old Yeller. Oh my gosh. I never saw Old Yeller too. I saw it with my older kids, and we're still all badly scarred from that. Go Speed Racer. I didn't really like Disney movies as a kid, and I got into them with my older kids when they were younger. As a kid, I didn't like them. I know that's weird. Snorks, yeah. Barney did those movies that became a fish. Anyone? Oh, Charlie Brown. Yes, those were good specials. Magilla Gorilla. Oh my gosh, Magilla Gorilla. Yeah, oh, I love that. Magilla Gorilla. Take him home and try him. I want to watch Magilla. I want to show my kids Magilla Gorilla. But then, you know, I'm telling you, kids today are weird. You show them something like this, and they're like, what? You used to like this? Yours, Mine, and Ours is a movie, and with 6 You Get Egg Roll was another movie like that. Jabberjaws might have been. What a trip down memory lane tonight. Well, you never know. We did a true crime thing, and then we got into this. And this all started with me talking about falling asleep trying to watch Mindhunter last night. That's how this started. No problem, sunshine. These boots are made for walking, right? Johnny Quest. George the Jungle. Yeah, George. Those I started to see all those when TV, was it Cartoon Land or TV? Which one had them on? Where's she from? Nanny and the Professor. Watch out for that tree. Pink Panther. Oh, Pink Panther. Yes, love Pink Panther. The Jungle Book. What are Heckle and Jekyll? Remember Heckle and Jekyll, the little birds? You were so concerned when they said they were making it into a movie? Oh. Go-Go Boots. Do I remember Go-Go Boots? Yes, I had every pair as a little kid. Remember the ones like the wet look? My mother dressed me, I had red, white, blue. I could show you pictures. Go-Go Boots. Barbie movies. You just remember how old you were. Oh, remember Two Stupid Dogs. Two Stupid... It tastes like caca. I'll have to dig them out. What, Teresa? You loved your yeah, clogs, right? And the clogs were the Mia clogs, right? The Mia clogs. I remember the one pair I got, they laced up like shoelaces. Wait for a week to get your yes, right? And then I hope those came out good. I hope they came out good. I hope I took the film out right and I didn't ruin them. Candies, yeah. No red shoes. Oh, Dansko, yeah. My daughter likes the Dansko. Mexico, that's right. Crable Flash. Had to say she couldn't be. Oh, well. Well, that was good, but all good things. I'm falling asleep, and I've got a bunch of stuff to do, but that was fun. A fun night, fun. So thank you to our moderators. Thank you for all you guys for coming and go. Earth shoes. Oh my gosh. Yes, I had lots of pairs of Earth shoes, right? That was crazy. But it was good. A fun night. Take care. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Kathy from Texas. Thank you, everyone that, Ariel Mama. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. And yes, please pray for Avery and Kathy from Texas' son, Jim, and everyone that needs, say a prayer for everyone, because there's always someone that needs something and maybe they haven't even said it. All right, so take care. Good night. Good night, John Boy. All right, thanks, everybody, guys. God bless.